Take a full breath as you are. And release the breath. Bring your hands together at your heart. And just feel into your own presence, your energy. You welcome yourself to your mat and to your practice. And feeling for this moment, even as you are in your own space, this sense of community, the sense of togetherness, sharing this experience of this practice. Just breathing into your heart. Softening anywhere you can. Realigning your posture. And take a nice full breath in, fill yourself to the top. Hold it there. Drop your shoulders. And gently exhale the breath. Let the chin drop as you do that. Take a normal breath in and out. Begin this next inhale. Fill yourself up right to the top. Hold it. And as you release the breath, bow your chin. And we'll open this practice with one Om together. Inhale. And start to release your hands to your thighs and maybe to the floor. And we're going to move into just a very gentle forward fold here. So you just let the hands kind of walk, your head drop. You can stay on the hands with the arms. Keep your eyes gently closed. Let the jaw go and the head really hang. And whatever else comes along with that, you'll just notice which parts of the body wants to drop. Maybe you hold yourself with your arms, or you might even just come all the way down. Move on to your forearms if that's there, wherever you like. And again, just focusing on letting your head be so heavy. As you melt the head in this place, being with your breath, just feeling the breath on the inside of your body. And the breath moving from the inside out. Drop your head a little more if you can. Release your spine if you need to, a little more. And then very gently, when you're ready, you'll inhale, walk yourself up. Let your head be the very last thing to lift. And don't be in a rush to open your eyes. Just be here. And just feel how that has shifted your energy, the way you're feeling. Even the flow of your breath has shifted. And then if your eyes are still closed, just gently open them maybe halfway. Give them a moment or two to adjust. Okay. So like I said, we're going to do this practice mostly on your back. And I'm just going to start with just rubbing the feet and putting on your socks. So if you have socks, great. And if you have oil, great. And if you don't have oil and you only have socks, that's fine. And if you don't, whatever you've got here, you have your feet. We're going to rub the feet. So no matter what you've got, you have your hands. And just give this foot some good attention. But as I say that, you're at home, so you have everything you need. So give this foot some nice love. working in between the toes in some way. Yeah, so let's give you a moment to just be creative. What really notice, like, oh, what feels good? And maybe what is tender. If you feel any like hard parts in your feet, notice. Okay, and then we're just going to warm the foot like the way we do when we rub the hands. And I believe we did this on Tuesday. So I'll just take the opposite hand. I'm just going to really rub the soles of the feet. And let's use my other hand to support. Let that foot be relaxed. So if you happen to be tensing your toes, just notice. And as soon as you feel that foot get nice and warm, then we'll just give it a nice twist. Okay, let's take that opposite hand and put the fingers in between the toes. And you can use the opposite hand to help. Pull, do your best wherever you get. Try and get web to web, but you have your whole life to play with this. And I want to say I promise you'll get there. It could be 30 years, 20 years, next week. Okay, so just moving your foot around. Breathing. If it's very tight, even opening your fingers, give it a little shake. The other hand can be involved too. It's all good. Okay, and then I'll release and just give it a last little love massage. And then we'll sock it up and we'll switch. And it's always nice, as you know, just take a moment, just feel into your feet, even close your eyes, and to feel the big difference. It's like when you go for massage and all of a sudden feel everything. So enjoy that. And you did that in less than 5 minutes. So that's always cool.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And just wake up the energy in the feet. We open up the breath. So if you were in meditation class on Monday, we did this mudra. And we were breathing and we held one finger and all the way down and we were breathing. And you may have noticed that as you got to holding the thumb and the pinky, the breath gets very constricted, or more constricted than when you're holding your index finger. Things are more open. And the breath is directly, linked to the hands and the feet. That's why, like on cold days, when we do this, we're like, walking and shallow. If you've lived in Winnipeg, you know what I'm talking about. So we open the feet, we open our breath, is what I'm getting at. And it's a very nice way to kind of set ourselves up. So hopefully you've worked the toes, gotten to know this foot a little bit, and we're just coming now to the opposite hand, just rubbing against the foot, warming the sole of the foot. And once you feel that foot get nice and warm, then we'll sneak the fingers in between the toes. Do whatever you need to do to make that happen or not happen. You observe, and everything's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. It's like your injuries are your entry points. So when we have things that are talking to us in a way we're fortunate, you can think about that if you're a yogi, which you are. Okay. All right, so just move these toes around and prepare to sneak my hand out and just give this foot a last little twist and whatever else it's asking for. And then sock it up. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Supta Baddha Konasana, and that's the lying down with the soles of the feet together and the knees open. So I'll bring the bolster in for this and my blocks. Move this here. Okay. So this is So if you don't have 2 blocks or a bolster, you can do this without anything. You just put a blanket maybe along the length of your back, and you can fold the blanket so it just holds you nice. And then you'll just sit in front of it, lie over your blanket. But if you'd like to do this, actually, I'm going to separate them a little bit more. And then when I put the bolster on top, it actually, oh, that happens. So we just go again. Okay, let's try again. What I was going to say was when I put the bolster on top, it's going to be hanging a little bit. It's not going to be touching the floor. That's just kind of what happens. Maybe not for you. I don't know. We'll see. But if that's happening, it's normal. I'm going to take 2 other blankets, one for underneath each of my knees. So those will go on either side. We'll just build this again. Okay. So I have one block on its medium height, one on its highest height. It's okay. Just keep going. I'm gonna get it. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm just gonna sit with my back to, so my tush is on the floor, and then I am on something as well here, so you can put a blanket underneath, and then you'll lie back, and hopefully they won't fall out. No, they're not. So the one is hitting right underneath my heart, and then the arms drop. Okay, so if you have some shoulder stuff happening, you might also add another few blankets to kind of hold, if you have shoulder stuff. I'm just showing you. I took this blanket, just bring it in, and then it can hold the arm so it's not dropping all the way. It's quite a big difference. So I'm just holding this blanket, and then everything kind of relaxes. So if you need that, throw that in. And then you'll take some other blankets or some other blocks and just place them underneath your what are these things? Your thighs. And then there we go. Okay. So you can adjust whatever you need. The soles of the feet are together, and a blanket over top of the soles of the feet, even tucking it, sometimes is nice too, because then you don't have to hold them together. So I might just take another light blanket and just tuck it underneath the feet and hope that these blocks don't fall. Okay, so far so good. Now if you'd like to add an eye pillow or something over your eyes, feel free to do that. I will tell you one other thing. I did it automatically, and when I'm lying back, I'll take my hands back and kind of angle this block that's under my head. I'll just push it down a little bit at the top so that it feels almost like it's supporting the back of the head really nice. You can ignore that if it doesn't make sense. You could also put another blanket on top of the bolster to support your head. Okay. So let's see. If you have a question about that, you can always just let me know, unmute and let me know. It's a lot, but I think we've all done this before. So find a way to support yourself, and then find a way to release yourself. And we'll just start off as if we're in Shavasana. We're just going to rest here in your space. Just inviting your awareness into your inner space, your inner world. To just spend this time noticing if you feel any busyness, restlessness, I don't want to give it too many names, but just to feel into how you feel right here at the beginning of this practice. Dropping into any sensations you're experiencing here. Noticing if the body feels very heavy, and you can feel the body releasing into the support. Just be very curious how the body starts to move into its rest. Just observing how your body and your breath connect here. Make any adjustments you need to as your body starts to release and become heavier. Allowing your breath to move as it would like. Just let it be free and restful. Just bringing your awareness and attention back to the flow of your breath and to following that flow in and out. Just feeling how your body is completely relaxed, resting, supported, and very relaxed. Just feeling the breath moving through. It's like the gentle ripples of a lake. Notice if you're gripping anywhere in your pelvic floor or in your throat. Soften what you can. Anything on the inside that you can let go and release a little bit more. The pelvic floor muscles, your jaw, even your eyes. Just invite all parts of yourself to rest deeply. Just a few more breaths here. You might even start to allow your breath to deepen. Just very gently, still staying curious and connected. Just beginning to wiggle your fingers and maybe start to roll your wrists. So the fingers are moving, the wrists are moving. Nice easy breath. And then reversing whichever way you're circling your wrists. Just continue to circle the wrists, the fingers, so whatever way, maybe it's figure eights. And just starting to make a fist with your hands and open them wide. And just do that a few times. Bring it in, nice tight fist, and open them wide. Doesn't matter where your hands are, just opening and closing the fists. Let's do that a few more times. Notice what you feel in your breath, any reaction. Okay, and then release the hands back. Just let them rest wherever they want to rest. And return to your breath. And bring in a little bit of a smile. And just notice what you feel in your hands and in maybe the breath, maybe even in your belly. If making fists brings in a bit of tension, you might be aware of that. I'm just going to turn the hands to face down. And we'll extend the legs out. And hopefully that's comfortable. Just let them be for a few moments. Okay, and we're just going to start to move the feet, the ankles, the toes, in whatever way feels good. Or you can do it. You might circle them in opposite directions. You might be pointing, flexing, just moving your feet here, keeping your breath somewhat engaged and relaxed. Just moving the feet, the ankles, whatever way here. Okay. And then we're gonna, at the same time as we stop moving the feet, you'll turn your palms up. So let's do that now. Just let your feet flat, turn the palms up. Then just come back to your breath and notice what's shifted. Invite the body back to that relaxed place you were in a few moments ago. You're absorbing the energy in your hands and your feet. Okay, so preparing to come off this bolster. You'll bend your knees one at a time, feet to the floor. And then mindful you're on a height if you're on this bolster. Roll yourself off. And then you can rest on your side or just come straight up. That's fine. Because we're going to come right back down. You're just going to move the bolster and the blocks out of the way. We're going to keep the bolster nearby and keep your blankets. You'll use them wherever you like. I'm going to take one blanket for underneath the head, and you might even put it under, make a big one and put it underneath your shoulders and your head. And then we'll come to lie down with the bolster underneath our sacrum. So I know I have a brown bolster, it's hard to see. Just bend the knees, feet to the floor, and you'll lift your hips and just bring that bolster underneath the back of your hips, your sacrum. You feel your low back is, maybe the bottom end of the low back is on the bolster. And for some of you, it might be more comfortable with more of the low back. So put it in a place that's comfortable. And we'll keep the knees bent. Feel that your head is, has the support it needs too. So if you need another blanket underneath the head or you want to fold it, make it higher, and then do that. So take care of yourself. And then we'll just start just taking a few breaths once you're here. Let your hands rest wherever they like, on your body or out to the side. And well, let's assist this a little bit. So once you're settled, then you'll take your dominant hand, the index finger and the middle finger together, and bring them to the center of your forehead where your third eye is. So center of your forehead, and we'll just start to make a little circle, like you're just massaging with the pads of the index finger, middle finger, make a circle. And whatever direction you're going in, bless me, should feel good. Just let your jaw drop and allow, however big your circle is. It might be very small, it might start to get bigger. It might move between, being small, going to big and back, just massaging this area with your touch. So the way that you're circling is, probably the way that feels the most open. And it's always interesting to kind of just move the fingers now the opposite way and notice, maybe it doesn't feel as good. And then go back to the other way, unless it feels better. Just feel like one way, it's like you're twisting and opening a bottle, and the other way, you're closing it. Okay, so you're welcome to keep doing this, or just hold this area, rest your index finger and your middle finger in the center there for a few moments. Let your eyes be heavy. You would feel that from this place in the center of your forehead, you can drop down all the way through the skull to the back of the head, right straight below these fingers. And feel your head heavy. And then you can keep your hand there, or you might take it back out. And just be with your stillness, this support. The heaviness of the heart and the shoulders on the floor with the hips supported. And just going to bring the right knee into the chest. And I'll interlace the fingers on top of the shin, maybe behind the thigh. You might not even need to bring your hands in if you're okay like that. However you like. I'm just going to let the leg do what it wants. Just be here. If you want to stretch your left leg out along the floor, you can do that, or you can keep it bent. And just here for a few breaths. So nothing to do. You put in as much effort as you need, but not too much that it takes you out of being with the breath. Imagine that third eye placed very heavy all the way to the back of your head. Feet are relaxed. Just feel how your body responds to this. Using your breath as the inner massage to whatever needs to be released here, freed, loved. Okay, soften the back of your head so you're not putting in too much effort, just enough. And as you're ready, friend, you'll release. We'll set that right foot on the floor and the left leg can come in, left foot on the floor. And then just rest again into the stillness. Just feeling all of the effects of just the shape your body's in. The head, the heart heavy, hips supported. Just take the next 2 breaths, really breathe and open into your belly. So as you inhale, you even can push the belly out. And exhale, let it soften. So do that one more time. Good. And then we'll bring the left knee in and just find that shape for yourself, whatever that is. And however you need to hold this leg behind the thigh, on top of the shin. Soften the back of the heart, the shoulders, the head. And if you'd like to extend the right leg, then go for it. And again, just drop into the heaviness, the effortless effort. Just putting in enough effort so you're here, you're not falling out of the pose, but not any more effort that invites in hardening and all these other things we just want to leave not here right now. So scan your body. What can you breathe into? You know those places in your body that naturally tense. And if you're not sure, then just take a little scan and notice if you're holding tension even in your third eye, your real eyes. And the quickest way to release any tension is to just smile. So just take a few more breaths here. And release left foot to the floor. Right foot can come to meet it. And then we just pause here and adjust whatever you need. Rest in the stillness. And even adding that, really extending the belly as you breathe in. Letting it really drop as you let the breath go. In a way that we're offering this gentle, I want to say pumping of the belly as we do sometimes the Kalabati breathing. So this is like so slow. You inhale, fill the belly, and exhale slowly, let everything go. Good. So let's just do 2 more, 3 more breaths like that. And as you enter into your last breath, then you'll fill up and you'll hold that inhale at the top until you can't hold it anymore. So at your own pace, you hold it. And when you need to let it go, let it be a really full exhale. Whenever you're ready, you just let it go. You can push out the breath and then just go to normal breath. And we're just going to rest here like this. So you're welcome to stretch your legs out if you like that, or keep them bent. And soften into this. Allow the back to be relaxed. You can always adjust where the bolster is as well. So it might want to move down. And that's going to release more of mid-back to the floor. You see what works for you. And then we're here. Be as you are. Allow everything that's touching the floor to be heavy, grounded. That you are just observer. So before we come out of this, I'm going to bring the knees into the chest and just hug them in. If this is no good for you, you can adjust what you need. But sometimes with the bolster underneath, you might move it. The knees come in nice. And if this is good, stay here. If you want to straighten your legs over your head and you do this, maybe you hold the toes or the backs of the calves. And just be here in this upside down, wherever you are, with the knees in or the legs extended over your head. Or if it's better for you just to have the feet back on the floor, just for the final few moments that we're over this bolster, choose how you want to spend them. Okay, so just taking another few breaths. And then preparing to come out of whatever you have placed yourself in. And once your feet come back to the floor, then we'll lift the hips and we'll just push the bolster between hips and heels. So the whole back comes on the floor. And then once the bolster is between your hips and your heels, you're going to move into cross-legged. And hopefully, you move into cross-legged, your legs are going to be supported by the bolster. If that's not happening for you, then you don't have to cross. Maybe you cross your legs over the bolster so that the ankles are on the floor. So whichever one works, either ankles on the floor, ankles on the bolster. And then here we are, full from head, all spine on the floor. The legs are a little bit supported. Just again, finding your comfortable place with your hands wherever they need to be, nice and relaxed. And notice your head, and if it needs more support or higher support as we change the angle of the body, then you can even take your blanket and fold it in a little bit if you need a little bit higher. So just grab the outer edges of the blanket and bring them in. Whatever works. And just dropping in, let your belly area now start to become a little more grounded as it drops down, and the breath becomes a little bit more lake-like. It's just very gently, maybe a very subtle bit of movement. And feel that third eye space, and you're always welcome to take your hand and massage your third eye as a way of grounding and resting your busy mind. And just let this place also be very soft. Just change the cross of the legs, and the two sides might be different. So, wherever you have your feet on the bolster, over the bolster, honor your body. Notice if that shift in the cross of the legs changed anything, brought up anything. Make adjustments. And then be very heavy, very gentle with your breath. Okay, so from here, friends, we're going to move into Shavasana, and you might be set up well enough that all you need to do is just extend your legs. You might just kick the bolster down the mat a little bit so that it will support right underneath the tops of my calves, backs of the knees. But if do it, set yourself up how you like. If you need to come up to seated, then throw in some more blankets, make yourself comfortable. You could also do legs up the wall if you like. And so take your time. Cover yourself. If you have an eye pillow you'd like to use, that's a nice thing to put on. Okay. So just before once you've got yourself comfortable and situated, and if you're still fiddling, that's fine. But once you're here, what I'm going to do before we actually get into Shavasana is just lift my arms up in the air, and maybe the legs too, if that's comfortable. And if it's not, that's fine. You can always bend your knees. And I'm just going to roll the ankles and the wrists. Maybe the knees are going to move too, the elbows could move. Just keep the arms and legs lifted. Nice, easy breath. Circulate fingers, wrists, ankles, toes, whatever you can here. Just got a few more breaths. So whatever you're doing is great. And then we're going to keep the arms and legs lifted, but just stop moving. And just stay here this is like dead bug. So the arms are lifted, legs are lifted. Bending your knees, totally fine. Wrists can be limp. Everything kind of relaxed, even though you're lifted. Okay, we'll just take 3 more breaths. Just allowing the circulation, blood flow to change, right? Okay, now we're going to go to Shavasana, but it might be happier if you bring the knees into the chest first and then extend or set your feet on the floor, your bolster, or back at the wall. Then find your way into your rest. And I'm just going to feel, if you need to move your feet or your legs, anything else, just to kind of settle. Okay, and then once you're in it, and you're like, all right, I'm here. Then you'll take a full breath in right to the top. You're going to hold that breath for as long as it's comfortable. So no panicking. You should be able to smile the whole time you're holding it. And when it's done, let it go. Nice full exhale out through your mouth. Make it noisy. And let that be the invitation to drop in deeply. If you want to do that again as many times as you like, do that. Just take this out. Okay. Shavasana. Just dropping more deeply into your support, into your rest. Softening behind the third eye, back of the heart, your jaw, your belly, your pelvic floor, your legs. As the body gets heavy, just bringing your attention to the energy in your feet, to the soles of your feet, and into your palms. Imagining that you can gently invite that energy to just be reabsorbed. As you breathe in, you draw it in. And as you breathe out, just rest in your body. Just allowing the body to be a little more heavy, a little more rested, a little more quiet. And staying in your rest for as long as you like. Or gently beginning to make your way out. So by very mindfully, wiggling your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists. You like to stretch your arms over your head and stretch your legs away from you. Just moving slow if you're moving. Eventually finding your way onto your side. Rest there for a few moments. We can meet in seated, or if that's where you're coming, take your time. Whenever you get here, just rest with the hands folded in the lap or at your heart, any place you want to put your hands, just mindfully placing the hands and dropping into your own energy. And as we sit under the light of the full moon, imagining we're under the light of the full moon, just tuning into this transfer of energy, light energy, reflective energy. As you breathe it in and release it out, this beautiful word of soma, for the moon's elixir, the moon's light, the soma of the moon, the energy of the moon. It's calm and it's cool and it's quiet. So if you're seated now, bringing your hands together at your heart as you inhale. As you exhale, bowing your chin to all that you are and all that you offer, all that you have gifted yourself with this practice. So just honoring all that is. As you inhale, lengthen yourself tall, lift your chin, and as you exhale, stay as you are. And we'll seal this practice with one quiet Om. And inhale. Bowing your chin. Actually keep your hands at your heart. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin and open your eyes. And with namaste, my friends, offer that breath for yourself and offer that out. The light in me sees the light in you. With great love in my heart, thank you so much. Rest well. See you soon.